I'm straight dumbstruck. So after I take a minute to collect myself, I grab the labels, I put them in, and me and him go to start trying to do overstock. And at this time, the voices tell me, we're going to make you lose your job. We don't care what it takes. We're going to make you lose your job. I was like, I need this job. I'm gonna do what I need to do. And as I'm doing these overstock boxes, we're both doing them. He probably won't admit to it to this day. But I know he knows. I know he saw it. We were doing boxes, and as we turned around, the boxes wasn't disappearing. They just kept reappearing. It's like it wasn't going nowhere. After they told me, we're going to make you lose your job. Eventually, he got... This is why I feel like he knows. Eventually, he got irritated, and he said he's going to go. He said he's going to go take care of the email, and he's going to go. And I'm like, okay, we're not getting nowhere. I guess. I mean, I'm gonna try to stay back and try to get some of this done, but it's not going nowhere. I think eventually they finally let me finish the boxes up. Eventually they stopped appearing. Whatever was going on, it was crazy. This is why I'm spiritual, guys. Something can control things, and I'll tell you later on. I'm gonna end it after this. I'm like an hour into this video already, but as I finished up the boxes and stuff like that, they're like, it doesn't matter. We're gonna make you lose your job anyway. We're gonna make a bunch of boxes appear here as soon as you leave, and they're gonna come into this place looking like crap. I was like, whatever. I gotta go home. So, before that night was over, during that day, they're like, you need to go up to her and tell her you love her. I was like, why would I do that? She's gonna slap me. And I was already confused, so I was like, after they said that, I was like, you know what? Whatever, I'm getting confused, I'm getting cold shoulder, but yet she's acting weird. Now, was something really going on? I don't know. Was she acting to try to catch me and trap me? I don't know. So these managers can even admit that something weird was going on there, and these guys were acting out of character and weird, or they were all devising against me, creating these plots. And if that's the case, you guys had to go all the way out of your way, create all these different outlets to get me fired. So was I really the stalker if you had to go that far to get it done? Or will you admit that there was weird things going on? That's for you to decide. Anyway. So, I was going home, and I walked up to her. She's over by a register. And I said, I've had feelings for you for a long time. Will you go out with me? I finally had to do it officially. The voices in my head, the text messages, the emotions, the things I'm seeing, it was all confusing. She said, no, I have a boyfriend. She said, no, sorry, I have a boyfriend. I was like, all right. I had to ask one more time officially. And then I left to go home. And when I got home, this is where the delusions and stuff get worse. Actually, see, this is why I'm kind of meshed together. It's like, maybe it didn't happen that night. It didn't happen that night. It didn't. Okay. So, I asked her, I did that. I got the answer. I was like, all right, cool. I finally know. I don't have to be confused anymore. I went home, went to sleep, Had some more weird dreams. I don't remember exactly what they were. Probably shot me back into that word with the chat room and the floating heads. And there was a judgment, like some weird judgment head that was like yelling at me. And that's a whole topic on its own of this area. And I'll talk about that here in a little bit. So I go back home. The next day I go into work. Before I'm able to start my shift, I'm walking, and the voices in my head tell me, they're going to fire you when you walk into the office. I was like, no, they're not. What? Shortly after that, over the walkie, I said, can you go to the office? Yes, I'm pretty sure it's over the walkie. I can't remember. They pulled me in the office. Actually, before this happens, because there was a conversation I had there. There was a moment where I walked in the office and I was trying to show her my house that I was working on trying to get, because at the time I was led to believe there was like domestic issues and all this other stuff. Okay. And I don't know whether it was seeing things. I don't know whether it was future. I don't know. But I was seeing marks that I was taking note of. And I walked in there. I tried to show her the house, because in my head we were talking about it. You know, this person, this spirit, whatever it was talking about it, saying, "Yo, would that be cool? I want to see it. Let me see it." And I go try to show it to her, and she's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "Never mind. I'm already confused. I don't want to deal with this." So I go in. I start walking off to go to the other room, and I'm getting yelled at in my head. They're yelling at me like, "Ha ha ha, loser! She rejected you," and all this other stuff. And I go into the break room, and I'm like, I put my earbuds in. I'm trying not to cry because I'm just so confused. But that happened. Okay, so that happened. And so let's go back to the point to where they tell me I'm walking to the room and I'm going to get fired. I go into the room. These two managers were there. And they're like, "Do you know why you're here today?" I was like, "Let me guess. Her?" They're like, "Yes. We're going to have to terminate you." And I was like, "All right, but you're not going to stop me from trying to figure this out, trying to save her." Because at the time, I thought something bad was happening. Not the bad part yet, but something bad was going on. So I was like, did nobody else see the marks that I saw? Or I was like, or am I the only one that's seeing these marks or something like that? I'm not saying this is true. I want people to understand that. I'm not saying this is true. This is just what I was led to believe and what I saw. And I've witnessed weird things that I can't explain. So I said this to him. And then I said, I was like, I'm too good for this place anyway. And I took my badge off. I took my, I gave my phone, my walkie, my keys, all that stuff. But there is one shady part I need to add in. I'm probably going to end it pretty soon. But there's one shady part. Before I went to go take my vacation, my manager, this is why I think they had something planned all along. They were all tag teaming against me to try to find a reason to fire me instead of trying to help me. My manager asked me to give my keys to one of the other associates, one of my associates. In my head, they're telling me that they're trying to replace me with him. Mind you, these guys didn't tell me that. Not at all. I don't remember whether I gave them the keys or not. But they were telling me that they were trying to replace me with him. So then I went on vacation, and I don't remember exactly what I did there. I think I was just trying to figure out things. I don't know. It didn't get super, super bad yet. But I want you guys to understand that part, that he actually went out of his way to tell me to give my keys to another associate because they were trying to fire me. There's no other time where they would ask a manager to go on vacation and give their keys that they can't give to normal people. He's got keys to the doors, keys to everything, to a normal associate. So I knew something was up. I'm not stupid, okay? I don't even think I gave them to him. I can't remember. I think that might have been the night where I magically left them at home. Can't remember. So, that happened. And then, so, I put my walkie down, put all that stuff down, and I went home. I didn't even get a chance to see this person, you know, because they fired me like before my shift even started. I didn't get a chance to it was kind of awkward. I wasn't really looking forward to it, you know, because I just got rejected. I wasn't looking forward to it at all. But then I got fired anyway. I distinctively remember I started having all these voices in my head and I couldn't concentrate. I went over and I bought a drink. I bought an energy drink and then I went home. And as I'm going home, I had these voices in my head saying, you're not supposed to be here. You need to die and ascend. And all this stuff. This isn't the bad part yet. I cried out and I said, I told God, I was like, I don't want to die yet. I don't want to ascend. I want to stay here and be with my kids. But I promised that I would serve him when I died. And I went home. And the voices started getting loud. I think this happened before I got fired. I can't remember, because I do remember trying to go to work and I was delusional. Yeah. Sometime I got fired, but these voices started getting loud. And the night that I got fired, I went home. I had a dream where there was a newspaper clipping. And in this newspaper clipping, she died. And he died. I don't know who he is. Her boyfriend, I guess. Don't know. In a car crash. Or actually, he died. I think she was in a hospital bed. Maybe. I can't remember exactly. But the next day I woke up and I was I can't remember. I can't remember when all this took place, because there was I know before the yelling in my head started. Then I think that was before I got terminated. It had to have been, because I do remember I woke up one day and I had all these voices in my head yelling at me, saying, you're gonna absorb everyone. You need to kill everyone. They're gonna kill you, and all this other stuff, because they were trying to make it seem like I was like gonna absorb all these people to become some super powerful god or something in the future. And I started crying because it was so loud. I was getting condemned. It felt like the entire world, every single voice in the world was in my head yelling, and I couldn't focus. I got on the ground and I prayed, and I asked God to please take it away. I ended up going outside, sitting on the porch, and I was yelling at him. There was a voice that came through, acting like it was her, and it told me to meet her at the bank or something like that. And you know, I'm already getting yelled at. I'm already confused. So I'm like, all right, cool, fine, you know. And as I was trying to do that, these the voices started blending. Like I was trying to make it like I couldn't reach out to no one, and it sounded terrible. So anyways, I got in my car, delusional, you know, like not delusional, but like drove over to the post office. Obviously nobody showed up. And then as cars were like just parking normally or just looking like weird at the time, they were attacking me with it. They were saying they were surrounding me and they were going to try to hurt me and these other things. So eventually, after I realized they lied to me, I drove over to my mom, went up to her work, and I said, "Mom, something's going on. I got these voices in my head. They're yelling at me really bad." And she told me, go home and take a nap and calm down, And I was like, no, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna take a shower and I'm gonna try to get to work. So this was before I got fired. So I went home. The voices stopped for a little bit. I thought it was over. I started talking normally for a little bit, but they were still loud, like not yelling, but loud. Like it was to the point where I had to have NyQuil and stuff to knock me out, because it was like literal, let's say like almost like earbuds in your ear all night long, just talking. You couldn't focus with them. So I knocked myself out with the NyQuil. I'm sure I probably had some weird dreams there. There's probably some more times where I got locked into the demon realm and whatever. I don't remember. But I ended up waking up thinking it was over, but the voices started coming back in. But before that happens, I went home. I took the shower, right? Went to the bathroom, got ready, and I remember there was some voice in my head. It was trying to make itself seem like it was calling itself the Grim Reaper at this time. And as I was going to go put a toilet paper in the trash can, this spider appeared. I don't know whether it was actual spider or vision. I don't know, but it like appeared and then poof, disappeared. And as I was going to the bathroom, they told me they were going to make me go. I don't know whether I had to go. I don't remember, but it felt like they made me go to the bathroom. And after that, I got my stuff. I got ready and I went to work. And this is the part where I was already had this stuff yelling at me, and they're like, "Don't talk to no one. You might accidentally overshare information." And so I was quiet. My managers, the other manager was trying to talk to me. He thought I was upset with him because I wasn't responding. And I ended up going into the office, and I was trying to like do basic stuff. I was trying to like get the schedule set up, and I was trying to do this other stuff, and I'm just sitting there like dumbfounded at the computer, and I couldn't focus. I couldn't do anything. Eventually, that's when I asked to go home. And then I went home, and the voices started in again. And I don't remember. I think I just knocked myself out. I didn't want to deal with it again. I didn't want to. And then other stuff would happen. That would be like when I came back to work, and then the other stuff happened. Is when that would happen. And I get back to the point where I got fired. I went home. Then I ended up having that dream about the clipping. And then later on that night, I guess I was already fired at this time. Later on that night, I drove up to Walmart. Actually, I was trying to find my glasses, but I couldn't find them. They told me that this person, if I didn't go up to Walmart and check on them, that they were going to die. That something bad was going to happen to them. So I drove up to Walmart, and I walked in the building, and the guy said that this person had already left. They wasn't there for the night, or they wasn't. I think they said they wasn't there for the night. At this time, there was other instances, I don't remember exactly when, where they made it seem like I was like able to like switch worlds and stuff by like opening, closing doors. They were trying to make me do stupid things. So I walked into the bathroom a few times trying to like, they're like, "You're in the wrong world." So I was like doing this, and I think I even did it at the freaking entrance for a few times. Eventually, I was like, "This is stupid. I don't even know why I'm falling for this crap." I went to my car, and I drove around, and I ended up parking in the center. And I don't know how I saw this to this day, but I remember it. I opened my door and somebody came out. It looked like her, but it was clear. It was clear as day. That's the weird part. And I had no glasses on, and I drove in the rain, pouring down rain, blinded with no glasses, to go check on this person. But I remember him plain as day. That's why I'm thinking maybe it was a vision, maybe it was a delusion. I don't know. Okay, so this person walks out. They look scared. They're over there, anxious, scared, and they're just looking at me. They're just staring at me. I'm looking at them. I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. Because I was supposed to be there earlier today to make this not happen, but I don't remember, something happened, and I ended up being late. So then this car pulls up, this gray silver sports car looking thing. I can't say for sure what it looks like. It's like a gray or silver car, sporty looking, but not like not like high dollar sporty, just like a little sports car. Pulls up, this skinny dude gets out. Over there, and it looks like they're arguing. They're arguing back and forth. And as I'm about to get out of this car, I look at this guy's hand, and I see something in it. The voices told me it was like a knife or something that he was going to stab me with if I would have went up there. So I sit back there, I watched, and eventually, reluctantly, this whatever it was got into the car. I waited. They drove past me. I waited for a little bit, and I turned out and I followed them. They turned to go one way, and I didn't realize it, and I went the other way, the complete opposite direction. And the voice came in my head and told me, make a small right turn. So I made a right turn, and I ended up down this weird road. And I start driving. And then the voice comes through again and says, you missed the house. Because I was trying to find out, check this person, make sure they're good, because it looked like they were in a dangerous situation. It said you missed the house. So I went to go try to turn around. And it's like I said, I had no glasses. It was raining. It was still raining outside. And these roads, it was like one of the narrow country roads. It was really narrow. I turned my car. I tried to get in, but my front end of my car ended up falling into the ditch. I freaked out. Okay? Because I was led to believe that this guy was going to kill this person. This leads to the paranoia throughout the story and why I acted the way I did when I came out. So I'm paranoid. At this time, one of the voices told me I couldn't use my phone. If I tried to contact on my phone, I would contact the wrong people or something like that, and I would be sharing information, and then evil judgment head Jigger Bobber would try to kill me or hurt me or something. Like I said, there was multiple times where I was stuck in this nightmarish dimension that they blend so much together. I don't know what. I just remember that I was afraid to use my phone because they told me I was going to be contacting the wrong people and they'd never make it to me. So, with that information, I still was like, this is stupid. There's no way. There's no possible way this makes sense. But then, you realize everything I've witnessed up until now, it's like, damn, anything might be possible. I don't even know anymore. So, they told me this guy, I couldn't look over there. I mean, I would look, and then I would see, like, this shadow, like, pacing back and forth. And they told me this guy was going to try to shoot me for maybe witnessing something I shouldn't have witnessed. I started freaking out, obviously. And I figured out the safest thing for me to do is I ended up climbing over my seat into the passenger side. I opened the passenger door and I shut it, and I sat over there by the car. And at this time, I'm over there, like, I'm in think mode. What am I going to do? How am I going to get out of the situation? Because I was literally going to drive. I was going to drive down to that house, and they told me I was going to die trying to save this person. I was like, well, I'm not going to let that, I'm not just going to sit there and let this happen, and you can figure out what's going to happen. And then I fell into the ditch, and they tried to make it seem like it was like a simulation, and they ran it so many times. And there was like a time when they died, a time when I died, a time when we both died. Like, oh, you found the loophole. You fell into a hole. I was like, oh, cool. Well, I guess I'm a genius. I fell into a hole. Anyways, I'm sitting by this car, and somewhere down the line, they tell me that it's too late. He's already killed her. And then if I don't get out of the way of the car, he's going to drive his truck here in about, they said a specific amount of time, but I don't remember what it was. He's going to drive and he's going to hit my car. And it would have hit me with it. So I'd have been in the way. Because he was trying to find me. He was trying to find me, but at the same time, he wasn't walking down there. I was led to believe that he was like aiming this gun with this laser down there trying to shoot me. So eventually I said I was actually trusting the voices for a minute this time because I was terrified. I wanted to get out of this situation that I got myself into. Supposedly. Okay. So I figure out the best solution for me. They said he goes inside. I'm gonna try it. There's this barn about a mile or so away. I was gonna, as soon as I got the clear from these voices, I was gonna hightail it. So I did. They told me it was clear. I ran over. I jumped this fence, and I started running in this field towards this barn. And as I'm doing this, and like I said, it's still rainy outside. It's kind of muddy. I feel this weird weight on my legs, like something was weighing me down. Like it was the same presence. It was like bending my finger and stuff. And I was literally like face planting over and over and over again. And eventually, I was getting distraught. I was crying. I was scared. I was really scared, to put it bluntly. And they said, "All right, he's coming outside. You need to do something. You lay down." So I lay down. I'm like, no, man. It was like turn yourself. They said something about some command about turning myself invisible, and I was like, I don't remember. It was like turn invisible. I don't know, something stupid. So, and then there was a point before that I already knew about these stupid commands. So I was like trying to switch worlds and this and that. So yeah, there was a moment when I was like stuck in this realm where this supposed spirit was teaching me how to do different commands, like exile and kill and invisible and all this other weird stuff, like put up a barrier. But I was going to go into that a little bit later when I have more time to explain it. So anyways, they tell me I need to go, I got to go invisible or something. So I do this weird command, and they make it seem like I'm invisible. I think they even gave me a vision in my head of seeing myself like blue transparent looking. And I laid down for a minute, and they're like, no, you need to take your clothes off. You're going to sit there with like invisible with clothes still folded. They're going to kill you. He's still going to see you there. He's going to probably shoot you in your head. Like, so you need to take off your clothes. I was like, I'm not taking off my clothes. I guess I'm going to die of things. So I'm not going to lay here butt naked looking stupid. They laughed about it because they knew, it was bullcrap. I'm starting to finally realize, these voices aren't your friend. At least, So, eventually, I get up. I start running. Actually, no. I make it about halfway there. And then they start telling me about this getting naked and whatever. I was like, well, then they're like, all right, well, if you wait like 2 minutes, there's going to be a car coming by. At this point, I'm already losing trust in them. I don't trust them at all. But sure enough, within 2 minutes, this car comes by. My only option. I get up real fast. I jump over the fence, and I stop this guy in this car. He reluctantly stops. And I'm like, dude, I'm terrified. I don't know what's going on. Can you please just take me out of here, please? To this day, I don't know why this guy helped this crazy person. I don't know, but thank you. At the time. So I ended up, finally, he was reluctant for a while. Obviously I would be too. Some random stranger coming up delirious, asking for a ride. Like danger all over it. But for some reason, he trusted, he actually let me in the car. So I got into the car, and he drove me down by the gas station. This is when I realized that where I turned and where I ended up at made no sense. It was like I turned the completely wrong way, and I ended up clear on the other side of the town. So it makes no sense. It was like divine intervention or something. I don't know. So he takes me. He's like, "This is as far as I can take you. I gotta go to work." And he takes me to this gas station. I was like, "All right, that's fine, thank you." And at this time, I'm still led to believe that this guy, they told me this guy is trying to find me now. He knows that I witnessed it. He knows I was there. He sees my car. I was told that he smashed into my car not to go get it. That's what I was told at this time. And I go into the store. I'm paranoid. I'm going around. I'm like creeping. I'm looking like creeper status for real. I go around this register and this guy's like, "You can't be back behind here." I'm like, "Dude, I'm just scared. You can call the cops if you want to. I'm just gonna use this as protection. I'm gonna go into the bathroom." To this day, I think I went to the women's restroom. I'm not sure, but I go to the men's restroom now and it doesn't look the same. So I think I went to the women's restroom. I go in there, and at first I'm like, I don't know why I had this idea, but I was like gonna get into like the shelf underneath the sink and try to hide in case this guy went in like guns blazing. I'm like, "Yep, this shelf's gonna save me. I'm gonna hide in here." Pretty quickly I realized that was a dumb idea. I don't even know if I actually got in there or not, or whether it was just an idea I had. Within like a few minutes, a cop came and knocked on the door, took me out to his car, put me in handcuffs, and he set me in the car. He started talking to me. He's like, "Have you had anything? Any drugs tonight or anything like that?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "I'll take a drug test right now if you want me to. I'm just scared. I don't know what's going on." And I was like literally shaking, wet, from falling in the ground. So I don't know whether he didn't drug test me. He talked to me a little bit. I had to explain the situation about where my car was at, and so he took me over there. He took me over to this. As we're going by this house, that I never made it to before because my car fell into the ditch that they were supposedly at, where he supposedly killed her. I told the sheriff, I was like, "Can you please get a welfare check done on that house?" That was the first time I said it. And as we're going by this house, I'm scared. And so I kind of slid back in the seat where where you couldn't see me as we drove past this. And he pulls over on the side by my car where it's wrecked at. And he's like, "So if we tow your car out of here, out of the ditch, can you drive it home?" I was like, "I don't want to be here. Just take my car, take it to a tow place or something, and I'll pay and get it back." And that's what they ended up doing. And then he ended up, after that was all done, he turned around, went by this house again. And I was like, "Can you please make sure you get a welfare check done on that house? I have a bad feeling." He said, "Yes, we will." To this day, I don't know what came of it. I haven't heard anything about it. He takes me over to the police station. And I sit there. And I call my roommate. And I ask him if he'll come get me. At this time, we're already kind of at odds. Because of me acting weird and stuff like this. He hasn't actually came out yet. But I can tell he's getting frustrated with me. And he takes me home. And I go home. And I start seeing things in my room. And they start threatening me, saying I need to leave my light on. If I turn my light off, these beings are going to get me. But before, like, at first it was cool. It was light, and I saw like pearly gates all over my walls. But there was these beings, these, I don't know what they are, spirits, demons, I don't know what they were, threatening to hurt not only me, but this spirit that I thought was her at the time. And so they kept making it sound like they were like killing her, taking her HP down. It was weird. It's like it's trying to make it sound like a video game or something. And so I'm over there like trying to put barriers up to protect this person and reviving them and all this other weird stuff to try to help them. I was told at this time the person in question was starting to have nightmares. I don't know whether that was true or not. I don't know. But this is around the same time this Raw character showed up in my head too. And he acted like he took an interest in this person. It's like, I'm gonna go check this person out. And so I was getting like jealous a little bit because he was making it seem kind of weird, really weird. So as I'm protecting these people and as I'm trying to help them and save them, like this person, they said I damned myself. And when I did that, I felt this pressure in my head was still here. It was like moving, like I felt myself like move, and I shot down. I didn't see my actual room move, but like this sensation of moving down. And then as I moved down, my room got dark, and I started seeing like shadowy figures crawling, like moving across my walls. And this video is like extremely long, so that's where I'm gonna leave it at for now. All right, thank you guys.